an hour long, or a little bit over an hour, of just absolute gaming magic off Mr. Stylos. Indeed, me, because I'm a king. But go and watch it if you want to see the end of Space Marine. We can bring Mr. Kirioth in on this because he has played the single player. I believe you've played it more than me, ain't you? Actually, gone past the bit I was on.
I've played quite a bit of it, yeah. I only have one. Well, I suppose one complaint.
What the fuck is it, bloke? What the fuck is it? Just give me straight. What is it?
That's the problem. It doesn't know what it is. It isn't anything. It's got. You control a character as though it was an RPG. That character's got spells and abilities like an RPG.
I didn't think it was too bad, but then I don't know what I don't know. I'll let you carry on. I don't know what the hell I was even dribbling about because it was terrible.
Well, this is the thing. It's not one thing or another. It had elements of an RPG, but they were massively underdeveloped and didn't really make any difference. It had elements of like city building, like SimCity or Dungeon Keeper. You could make a massive dungeon, but you could only have like 3 rooms, so all the dungeons look exactly the same. And the way in which you're actually supposed to build all this crap is baffling beyond all belief, because you've got your lad, and he's got soul energy. And you need soul energy to put little crappy items down, little gubbins down in your dungeon to get your prestige. And prestige means you can build more stuff for the 3 rooms you can have. But you can't get soul energy unless you attract heroes, which are attracted by the rooms and the prestige to get soul energy off them. And it's like, what?
I don't understand how you lose either, because it says you take damage to your dungeon heart, which is like, the heart of the dungeon. But the heroes and champions who spawn through the gates, as soon as they've got their fill, they just leave. It's like there's no danger. You could just sit there for ages. It doesn't look like you can lose. I mean, maybe you can later on, at later points in the game, or if they eventually fix the multiplayer, you might be able to lose to another player, or like another dungeon lord or whatever. But I tell you what, bloke, in my Is It Pure, I was like, this isn't too bad. And it kind of isn't too bad, but it's not really. I mean, I think they want $29.99 for it, which is an absolute piss take. It ain't worth $29.99 English pounds. I mean, how much is that in euros? 39 is like not much better. And it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, if you think it's Dungeon Keeper, it isn't Dungeon Keeper.
Oh, that was the biggest crushing thing for me. I thought it sort of would be, but it just turned out to be like nothing like it, except the setting is a dungeon.
Well, I was listening to you, and you were telling me about it. You were like, "Yeah, this looks like Dungeon Keeper," and I thought, "Well, I've not played Dungeon Keeper. This could be like an up-to-date version of the game, better graphics and whatnot." Because obviously, how old's Dungeon Keeper now? But no, I was just like, well, if you like a no-pressure gaming environment where you can build a fancy dungeon and just spend hours doing that, then it's the game for you. If you like Sims, it's the game for you. And if you like Sims, you need a bullet to the back of the head. So we continue, Mr. Kirioth. I don't know what you're laughing at, boy. We continue.
It's true.
It's the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Again on September the 26th, we've got League of Legends Dominion has gone live. Now, this was off Synergy, and it was a news post just basically saying Dominion's gone live. Now, Dominion has indeed gone live, and I do think we'll get onto a bit more Dominion in news when we get to my Lux Dominion gameplay clip, which should be somewhere in the timeline. Good lord.
I was a little bit out of water in some places, like a fish out of water, because there was so many consoles just everywhere.
Do you think that's the problem though with the UK? Like, it's basically a console market, ain't it? Surely
it is pretty
majority,
much.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the one game that I managed to get my hands on that was definitely on PC was Battlefield 3. So I got to play the PC version of that, which was good. And I think you'll find the team with me and Riker on it. We won big.
Good lord.
But then you'd expect us to.
I would expect you.
Had a blast on Oblivion as well, but the Xbox version, which baffled me completely because I have never played any game like that on the Xbox. So at first I was a bit of a cabbage, but I worked it out, sort of went around punching stuff in the face. And I got told off.
Absolute travesty to any FPS game anywhere. A travesty, son. An absolute travesty.
It's terrible. You can't walk, and well, you can walk and turn at the same time if you're used to it. But me, I was like going forwards, and I was going, oh wait, hang on, that's strafes. I'm gonna have to. The other stick moves you left and right. Okay, so I end up like your guy wanders around like he's got some sort of brain.
Do you reckon it was some kind of a thing like, oh, we're the marketing department, you've got to show off the game? I think that was my MSN going off, so we quit MSN, goodbye. Where you get like a marketing department. You may have heard me MSN or not, I don't know. I don't think you did. But anyway, whatever, I'm dribbling, and I don't dribble or talk crap. I talk pure, unadulterated win. So as I was saying, maybe it was somebody from like the marketing department who... has been told that if anybody press related turns up, they have to play it or make them play it in a specific way, so they go away thinking it's great. But again, the whole point of it is you turn up and you do what you like.
Yep.
Maybe they were like, oh, the press don't know what they're doing. But to be honest, anybody worth the salt knows what Elder Scrolls is in any kind of gaming, even console, press, media, whatever. They should know what the hell it is.
I wonder if you might not be on something there, because there were a lot of people that probably knew what it was. So a bit dodgy, but
whatever. I mean, if they want to hire people for marketing departments, we are available.
We'd be the best.
A small nominal fee. So we carry on, Mr. Kirioff. We go to the 27th of September. We were actually just on the 27th of September, good lord, so we actually go nowhere. But we have got new Batman Arkham City trailer, features the Joker and clowns. Now, the Joker was absolutely pure in Arkham Asylum, so again, he'll just be absolutely pure in Arkham City.
He already
he's
does
easily the best character. I mean, at points in Arkham Asylum where you'd be stalking people, and if you killed them straight away, you wouldn't hear the audio. In the end, the guy's like, oh, thanks for breaking my wife's legs, Joker. That's dead funny.
What?
He's crazy. But then, son, then hang on, son. Then we go on, son. On live console unboxing by yourself.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to take us deeper?
that was a masterful bit of on the spot film work. We stopped for lunch, and having paid for our golden koi carp and brick brick lunch, fish and chips, 20 quid. Excuse me.
Fucking hell, mate.
That was for both of us, but still, it's not on really.
It Gordon Ramsay.
There was a guy who looked like suspiciously like him behind the counter. Actually, it was a bit weird, but we sat down and we had the on-live console that Ryko had queued up to Rob.
Dirty bastard.
And we just had a look at it. It's actually, I have to say, it feels like a quality product. It doesn't feel flimsy.
I know, but what is it?
It's just a little router, ain't it? Effectively.
Yeah, I think it's just like the innards of a cheap-ass smartphone, a crap little processor in there, and basically a router. I don't know. I mean, the whole on-live thing to me is like almost a bit gimmicky. I mean, maybe people will slate me for this. I don't know, but my opinion of that thing is, it ain't too bad, but surely it cannot render. It can't produce a quality image on a PC. So if you plugged it into your PC, and decided to stream, I don't know, Deus Ex or whatever the hell crap games they've got on there, it would look terrible, and it'd be laggy, and it'd be crap. Like, it wouldn't be as good as what you'd expect on your computer. Yet, I think if you played it on your telly, at a sub 1080p resolution, and sat back on your settee with your controller, obviously you have to use the controller with it, but it wouldn't be too bad, I don't think. Might be slightly passable. But I mean, it's got a whole air to me of like a fad, and it's just going to go away. Like in a year or 2 years' time, they're going to have to put the prices up so expensive for the games or whatever. It's like, how can they... I don't understand how their system can work in this current... Well, just the way hardware and the internet is at the moment. I just don't understand how it will work, because why would people put their games on that platform? When they're selling games on, Steam and Xbox Live and all places like that. Why would they then put it on another platform to dilute it even more? A substandard platform that doesn't deliver it in the super best quality. I don't know. It just seems dead crazy to me. It's almost like they've turned up, got a massive load of investment, paid for tons of consoles, got loads of production done, all the back end sorted out, and it's like they're just trying to make as much money as possible in like a short time frame. I don't know. I really don't know. It's not something I'm particularly interested in, though.
It strikes me as I think it's still already quite popular in the US. I think that's why they've moved over here as quickly as they have. But I am not convinced, purely because there have been figures floating around of you need 5 meg up and 5 meg down to play the game smoothly. Now, there are vast areas of England.
I don't think that's right. I honestly don't think you need that much upload to play that, to have a... What you even uploading to them? You're just uploading positions of units, and, I've moved here, I've moved there, there you go, Siv. You're not sending them 5 megabit worth of upload. That seems a bit bullshit, that does.
If those figures did turn up on the OnLive forum, but I don't know whether it was posted by someone who just claimed to be in the know or someone who was actually part of OnLive.
It sounds bullshit to me. Yeah.
But I still think that when you look at the vast majority of people with broadband in the UK, I mean, take the net I'm having to use at the moment, the connection. It's 2 meg. That's it. It's like, it's a pathetic
that was
download.
Comedic timing, that was, because as you said, it was 2 meg. The line broke up.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If it breaks up just doing TeamSpeak, which, let's face it, is not really anything, is it? Then I'm sorry, on live, you are not going to get a smooth gameplay with people on anything that isn't either like a decent Virgin line or BT Infinity or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. So you could have a lot of people who buy this thing, pay the monthly subscription, and sit there watching their horrible, blocky...
Well, here's another thing as well. Why would anybody really buy that if you can basically buy an Xbox now for £100? I don't know how much they are in euros, but they're dirt cheap, ain't the Xboxes? They'll give you a better gaming experience than bloody on live. I think they're just trying to get people in with cheap game things, and the fact you can rent games out, which is kind of funky, that you can rent games out, but still, it's not exactly super funky because, yeah, I don't know. It just seems to me like it's not... Maybe in a couple of years' time, something like that could have worth, but I don't think it ever will, really. It's just like a gimmick. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm not particularly a massive fan, to be honest, but, I mean, they're definitely pushing it. The number of free consoles they gave away at Eurogame was absolutely insane.
Well, I can't imagine it's much to produce that, now, because the hardware would be dirt cheap because of all the smartphones, and the processors that were in demand. Maybe when they first started building it, it could have been quite dear. But now, I mean, I bet they were probably making units for about $10. Maybe not even that. $5, God knows. Who knows? But I'm not into mass marketing, mass production, whatever the hell it is. So we move on after slating on live, sort of. Although, I'm slating it because I'd never play it. Bollocks to on live. Flanking, ganking, and ranking. This was on the September 27th as well. Episode 7, which is basically our League of Legends series. And I do believe this was probably the best performance I'd put in on a flanking, ganking, and ranking. Yeah, it is. It's me when I'm killing everyone. So go and watch it if you want to see Lux kill everyone. Where do we go next, and where do we go next?
Well, after that, Ryko gave us a bit of information on Skyrim, which is a massive, and I mean massive
also
list
on September 27th.
Of the race abilities and perks. And it's all of them. So, really, if you want to plan your character, have a look at that post. Plan what race you're going to be, what perks
Link
you get.
in the description.
Oh, God, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's just whatever, loads and loads of stuff. Skyrim, perks, check them out, because we know you love it. Then the next thing we got, also on the 27th of September, is Shogun 2 Total War patch full of free stuff.
This is a massive patch. It is properly stupidly huge.
You know what? This game was on bloody special offer on Steam the other week. And I think it was £14, and I was tempted to get it, and I never did. And it's like, I see news about it, and it gruels me. I'm like, Anyway, I'll let you carry on, son, but that's my little bit of input.
I have to admit, I missed that, and I regret it, because the first Shogun Total War was really good, and I still got it somewhere. But this patch is huge, right? It adds in 11 new maps, which is kind of ridiculous. New castle structures, which are huge and bigger than your average castle, and a massive, massive list of bug fixes and balance changes. Considering it's just a patch, they're giving away a hell of a lot of stuff completely for free. So I have to say, hats off to the lads at Creative Assembly for doing that, because it's a huge amount of stuff to get for nothing. Other companies would probably release that as just DLC, but you're getting it as part of a patch.
Yeah, but they're actually bringing out some DLC, ain't they? It's probably something to do with that, innit, as well?
Well, they're bringing out the Rise of the Samurai DLC later. Well, they did it on the 27th, but the patch that hit had loads of free stuff that was completely separate of it. You didn't need the DLC to play it.
Pretty good then. We continue our epic march through the archives of Unit Lost. On September the 27th, still, we love this day.
It was a good day.
Beta, it was a good day for Win. Guild Wars 2 beta will happen this year, as stated by Mr. Kirioth.
Yep, Colin Johansson or Joe. I'm assuming.
Solid name.
I'm assuming it's Johansson. Yeah.
Oh, God knows.
The lead content designer for Guild Wars 2 told Eurogamer that it's on target to go into beta by the end of the year. It's in closed beta at the moment, and pretty much the success of the closed one will decide the start of the open one. So, he seems quite positive about it, actually, Mr. Johansson. He said if we tear through the beta and everything's super positive, then it'll come out faster. Good
Well,
lord.
this is a good point to jump onto the game itself. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't make it to Eurogame for some health reasons. Boo hoo. But Kirioth and Raiko, and I do believe Sinashi was there at some point. They were there, and they were playing Guild Wars 2, or rather, I don't. Did you play Guild Wars 2, or did just Rico Arena play
I didn't. Rico Arena played it.
And well, I watched this video back, which is also on the blog, and there'll be well, it's on our YouTube channel. There'll be a link in the description. He is totally shit at games. I don't know. Well, you were there, son, so you tell us all about it.
Well, how to express it? Guild Wars 2 looked good. The combat looks good. The graphics look really very good. And the way that you fight, it seems quite smooth and it generally looks like a nice polished game already.
Yeah.
It doesn't really come across with Rico's gameplay, largely because I don't think he had a clue what he was doing, which is always a disadvantage. But
it's a shame I couldn't make it because it would have been pure. But I'll be there for other ones, and you know it.
it looks good. I have to say, I was looking forward to it before, but the combat is very smooth, and the way in which you fight, and the even just the animations look good. Like, it actually feels like you're hitting stuff, because that's my biggest problem with MMOs in general. When you smash something, it does not feel like you smashed it. It's something that's common across a lot of them.
It's just like you're flailing it. Yeah, it's like you just stand. Yeah.
There's a definite feel of impact, and you can sort of. It's like when you see the weapon hit an enemy, you know that it's hit it, whereas you don't often get that from other ones. So it does. It looks good. It looks very good, sir.
Well, I mean, I have been looking forward to it because, like I've said before, there's a gap in my gaming library. It's like at the moment, a lot of my time's been taken up with Battlefield 3 beta, but I'm like, I don't really have. Oh, and I play League of Legends. I usually get at least a game in a day of League of Legends, but I'm not like, I don't sit there and play it for like 3 or 4 hours on the go. You know, it's like I find myself doing a lot of other crap. You know, I don't want to be browsing it now. I want to be playing games, so I'm winning big, and it's like, what have I got? Well, when Guild Wars, the end of the year could be quite pure, actually. I mean, Skyrim, I'll obviously play that, but Skyrim's only really single player, and given the way I tend to play games, is that I'm kind of fast. I do all the side quests and whatever, but I tend to do it like I'm quite direct. Like, I won't run through an open world and look to the left and think, oh, that's a nice waterfall, let's go and stare at it. I don't care. I just keep going, like, for the win, and it's quite like I end up blasting through games. And also, I seem to get quite addicted to games, because the last game I really intensively played solid was the Batman Arkham Asylum, because obviously I was a year late to the party, and I got it, and I just played it, and I just completed it, and it was like blasted within like a day. It was gone. It was like, oh. So that's kind of bad how I am. I just kicked my chair, good lord. But the something like an MMO, you can't obviously complete, can you? So it's like, it gives me something to do. There's something to play, so it's like I'm gagging. I really hope it's good, and I'm a bit gutted that I couldn't make it to Eurogame to actually check it out in person, like. But if it's beta's coming out at the end of the year, and I think it's slated for 2012 release, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
Early Q1 2012, so could be quite good. So I'll be able to get Skyrim done, be a general on Battlefield, and then maybe Diablo 3 will come out, complete that, and then play this for a year or something. I don't know. Anyway, we carry on. So on September the 27th, again, such an amazing day for news this has been. Moronic legal challenge by Bethesda is going to court. Now, let me just say something before you rant about this, right? Scrolls is just a word. It's not a brand. And Elder Scrolls is not, like, nobody refers to any kind of Elder Scrolls games as the Scrolls games, do they? It's not like,
no.
Yeah, have you played Scrolls Oblivion? No. So I don't understand what the hell is going on with this. And I know you've been following this closely than me, so I'll let you talk now, but I just think, what the hell is going on?
Well, to me, it's pretty much that. Scrolls is a word. It's not a name. It's not trademarked. It's not an intellectual property. It is just a word. You are allowed to use the word Scrolls in whatever you see fit. Unfortunately, for some reason, Bethesda have taken it upon themselves to decide that Notch calling his next game Scrolls means that people will think, oh, Notch is making the next Elder Scrolls game. Or people will buy Scrolls thinking that it's the Elder Scrolls because it shares one common word. I cannot, for the life of me.
Not, like, why would people even believe? And it's hilarious. Why would people even believe that Notch would be involved in producing like a AAA RPG Elder Scrolls title? Because I'm sorry, but Minecraft is just like a Flash. Well, it's not Flash, it's Java, I think, but it may as well be a Flash-free game. But yeah, I don't play Minecraft, and I'm not particularly inclined to go out and get it. But if anybody wants to give me and Kirioth a copy, then by all means donate the money. PayPal, contact at unilost.com, and we'll buy it for your entertainment pleasure, because no doubt it would be quite funny. But it's not something I'm particularly interested in. But carry on anyway. That was my little bit of slating.
That's basically the whole thing. Bethesda decided that Scrolls is an integral part of the title of a series of their games, and that no one else is allowed to use it. They seem to be completely disregarding the fact that the game that Notch is bringing out is in no way related. Like, it's not the same. It's obviously not the same setting. It just happens to share the title. I am following this quite closely because I like words, I like writing, I like being able to use different words for different things. And the idea that a company has sat there and gone, well, we use the word Scrolls in our title, no one else can use it, to me is just beyond stupid.
It is, it's crazy. I mean, Elder Scrolls completely trashes Minecraft or Scrolls. I mean, it's just going to be nothing compared to it sales-wise, money-wise, and I can't see how they can even see it's going to impact on the sales. It's just retarded.
No.
Also the bloody what was I going to say with like Minecraft? Well, why haven't Blizzard took out an injunction or whatever the hell they do against him for calling it craft at the end? All Blizzard's games are craft apart from Diablo.
Yeah.
And the older games like what was it, 3 Vikings and some shit like that. I don't know, old stuff.
But it's just, and really, they'd have bigger grounds for it as well. Because if you think about it, people talk about Warcraft and they talk about Starcraft all the time. Those are two of the biggest games. I mean, yeah, the Elder Scrolls is a big series, but it's not like a year and a half after Oblivion was released, people are still going, "Oh yeah, I picked up Elder Scrolls Oblivion the other day," because everyone's still talking about it. That's not. It doesn't. It's a different type of popularity. It's not massively ongoing. Whereas, of course, World of Warcraft, being an MMO, it will always have new stuff all the time. StarCraft 2 constantly being patched, expansions being brought out. Why have Blizzard not gone after him and said, "Sorry, you can't use the word craft. We use the word craft, and therefore it's ours"? They haven't, because it's stupid and it makes no sense. And the only thing Bethesda are doing with this, it's under the guise of, "Oh yeah, we want to protect our intellectual property." All they're doing is systematically losing the respect of anyone who likes them to begin with.
Their own image.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, they also with ID as well. There's a thing where you can get the double-barreled shotgun as downloadable content for Rage, but they won't give anybody pre-access to the game for review copies or anything like that. So it's like, well, that's a bit fishy, eh? It seems like they're going downhill. Anyway, because I think they're all owned by ZeniMax Media. I think. Anyway, let's carry on. So also on the 27th of September, this is hilarious, this is, ITV thinks Arma 2 footage is secret IRA. I couldn't believe this. I was like, this is not real. And it's like, they've put like a little bit of like grain over it, ain't they, to try and make it look a bit more real. It's like, oh my God.
Well, it turns out actually there was a bit of digging went on, because PC Gamer actually got hold of this first, but it was just so funny. I had to go after it myself. Like, it turns out what's happened is someone somewhere has uploaded to YouTube a video of secret IRA footage, which is actually Arma 2. It's unrelated to anything else. It's describing in detail an event where a helicopter was shot down by the IRA. But they've used Arma 2 footage. Now, I don't know where they got the footage from, whether they did it just because they thought it would be funny to see if they could fool people, because let's face it, people have done stuff like that before. But it looks like what happened was ITV was looking for some sort of IRA footage, anything relevant to the documentary they'd made, which is really serious, by the way. It's not like, oh, we made a slight error. It's full of like veterans and people talking about how horrific all the terrorist attacks and stuff are. It's not like light-hearted entertainment. But it looks like they've gone to find footage of the IRA, stumbled across a random video on YouTube and gone, yeah, that's fine, that'll do. It says in the description it's the IRA, so it must be. Without properly verifying it. Well, I say properly, without verifying it at all. With the result that in the middle of this really serious ITV documentary into Colonel Gaddafi, being linked with the IRA. There's just some footage from Armored 2 just spliced into the middle of it. I loved it. I was laughing for a good quarter of an hour, to be honest. And every now and then I think about it and I just giggle again. Absolutely brilliant.
So yeah, I mean, it was just retarded, absolutely retarded. I can't understand why they would. I don't know. It's like you said, somebody's just sat there, like one of the researchers, and Googled it. And they, oh look, I've got some footage. Jesus Christ. Anyway, 28th September, a different day, another dollar. Now we've got a Valley Without Wind. Now we were given beta access to this, and well, basically, it's from the guys behind AI War, Arcean Games, and one of the devs actually commented on our video, which was funky. It's like a randomly generated 2D world civilization simulator or something, which is just makes no sense. It's like you're in like an ice age. I mean, you can tell how clueless I am. And then there's like these buildings which have got conference rooms inside them, and crazy skeleton monsters running around outside. And I was like, what? I mean, there's a big README, like a big guide. I think it's a PDF, and they were like, please read this before you start. And I'm like, no, I'm not reading no PDF guide. I'm just going to go and play the game. Because if the game can't tell me what the hell's going on, then, you know, who the hell is going to sit there and read a massive PDF before they play a game? And yeah, it was strange. So check out the video. It's on Unit Lost Tube. I'll stick a link in the description. But oh my god, as I often do. Well, we started doing from last week, link in the description to the major news, not just all of it. Well, unless I linked all of it, I can't remember what I did. I'm crazed. Also on the 28th September, we've got Dungeons & Dark Lord multiplayer. Now, oh dear.
It wasn't great, was it?
No. Well, would you like to regale the crowd with tales of our multiplayer conquering?
Well, I'd absolutely love to tell you that we went up against 2 AI on Insane and just completely destroyed them because we're just that good. I'd like to say that we got into a game at all, but unfortunately, as quite often happens with games released on Steam, the game decided that we were both on our own separate networks and did not work. Added to which, if you can even add an AI into the game, we can't work out how. And if you can add someone to the game yourself by inviting them, we can't work that out either. Principally because I don't think you can do either.
Well, I remember the other game that had the issue with this was I Divine Cybermancy, where we couldn't join and it was totally broke. And we had to wait like about 2 weeks for it to get fixed. I think it's the same issue, but like, honestly, for something that they want 30 quid for, it's an absolute piss take. It's like, let's release a game, it's got multiplayer. By the way, it's broke and it don't work, goodbye. I mean, it really pisses me off how Steam allows these games to be released. But I mean, we've spoke about this before. It's not like Steam could do, or Valve, Steam, whatever, could do like quality testing on every title that comes through, because it would just take too long to get the games out. You know, they'd be too delayed in getting launched, and it's like, it's just, and I suppose the same applies to Gamersgate and anywhere else where you can get this game from. It's just like, where is the quality, the testing department in, I think it's Calypso, ain't it? Calypso Media, Calypso. It's the guys who make Tropico, I'm sure it is. And it's just like, what the hell? What the hell? Really, really bad. If you can't get your multiplayer to work and your game comes with that, it's an absolute disgrace. We may try it again, but to be honest, why should we even bother giving it any kind of coverage if it's not even going to bother releasing in a complete state? Bollocks to them.
Yep.
Bollocks to you as well. So, 28th of September, we've got Battlefield 3 beta first impressions. Now, the blog from the 28th, basically all the way till today, is rammed with Battlefield 3 stuff. There are some other news bits that we'll jump onto, but well, I'll tell you what, let's go through it in order because it'll get a bit mumbo-jumbo. So, my first impressions of Battlefield beta are given in a YouTube clip. It's only 14 minutes long, so not massively long. As soon as I got the beta, slapped the game on, went straight into Operation Metro, and just gave you my thoughts at the time. So go and check the video out. If you want a proper, like a proper real first impression of somebody who is looking forward to the series, but he's not like looking forward to the game, but he's not totally like fanboy blinded. Oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen. Because I've seen a couple of other clips off other YouTube channels, and notable YouTube channels at that, and they're just terrible. It's like, Jesus Christ. And it makes me cry because you see they've got hundreds of thousands of views, and it's like, piss off. The next thing we've got is the no, hang on. This is Mr. Kyrgios, so not the destruction, but he's linked the destruction video, so I can talk about that. Is basically him covering all the Battlefield 3 coverage and impressions and telling people that what's going to go down, and that's that. I mean, read the post, but it's basically telling you that we're covering Battlefield, so it's kind of redundant at the moment, I think. Well, redundant now. But the Battlefield Beta 3 destruction clip I made was like a test of the destruction. Yeah, granted, it wasn't a totally comprehensive, like I was just trying to blow everything up. I just went into Operation Metro, went as the engineer, tested if I can, blow certain things up. And you can, but I have got some issues with the destruction in the game, and no doubt you've seen this in the clips as well, Kiri boy. It's like there ain't enough destruction. When you play Bad Company 2, and I know you've played Bad Company 2 quite a bit, I know the destruction, I know like a building was on a frame and only like sections of the building would explode out when it was hit. But it had loads of particle effects over it, smoke and whatever, so it always felt like it was a different explosion, even though it was the same explosion effect you've seen like hundreds and hundreds of, probably thousands of times before. But it doesn't register in your mind. It's like, whoa, God, big explosion, big bang. Well, in Battlefield at the moment, it's like you can fire a missile at a building and it'll like explode on the building and it like blows out a pre-cut section of the building. And it looks cheap. It's like, oh, what's this? This isn't really dynamic. Now I know, I obviously understand they can't make it wholly dynamic because that would just be totally ridiculous and like be too much of a strain on system resources. Like, but it just doesn't look as good as Bad Company 2. And when you're firing, like you're shooting at people, trying to like really blow the stuff up around by them. Like in Operation Metro, you can't blow up the train cars, like the metro train things or whatever the hell they are, the subway trains. You can't blow them up. You can blow the windows out. You can blow some walls up, but not every wall. You can like it just feels like it's took a step back in the destruction. I mean, and also Caspian Border. When I was playing that, I didn't really see any destruction. In fact, a little bit of a rant about Caspian Border is there's like a petrol station, and when I got to the petrol station, it was blown up. Now in the Caspian Border trailer that they released, which looks dead good, it shows you that petrol station all on fire and everything. So you think, Jesus man, it's been bombed and blown up. Like, I think it's just like that to begin with. I don't think you can blow it up.
I have to admit, having watched the destruction, I've watched it a couple of times now actually. I've not yet played the beast myself. I mean, that's something I intend to do today. But you're right. The destruction does not look as good, and there are other little things that add to it. Like in the video, at one point you shoot a rocket at the wall, and when you're talking about how it sort of blows like a pre-cut bit of the wall out.
Yeah,
I can sort of cope with that because I understand they can't make it like wholly dynamic, but the problem I've got is even that destruction didn't look very destruction-y. It's like when the rocket hit, there was like a pathetic little crumpling explosion that was like the size of your fist, and then bits of the wall were missing. And
what was cheap about that bit, I think you're on about the start of the video, is like that wall is like the boundary of the map, so it's like you can't go out of there. Like in Battlefield, and I know it's a rush, so you're sort of restricted to areas. But if you ran out of the combat zone in Bad Company 2, it would like say you're leaving the combat zone, and it does do that in Battlefield 3. But the fact you've got this big wall down the side of you and you can't blow the wall up or anything like that, it's like a barrier, and it's like it's not very well. It's shit. It's like I can't go over there. And also there's buildings in the background which you can hit, but they're not actually on the map. They're like scenery, but they don't blow up. Now maybe that is a little bit of an ask for that to be destructible, but still, who's going to fire missiles at a building which doesn't, nobody's ever going to be hiding there. But if you imagine you miss with your rocket, you'd want to see it fly off and blow a bit of a building off. It'd look a lot better, and it just don't do that. Maybe they can add it in, but I don't think they can, because to be honest, this beta, I know there's problems with it, but more than anything, it's just a marketing beta, surely. I mean, the game's out next month.
It looks like they are trying to iron out a few problems at the in the last few weeks, but it does sort of strike me as a whole. Well, I don't like it whenever people do things like pre-order the game, get into the beta early, because I think that's not the point of the beta. The beta is not the release of the game. It's not early access to the game. It's to test it. So if you're going to have a beta, why not have everyone who's going to be testing the beta testing it at the same time? So
it's part of the reason why I've been releasing like gameplay clips and whatnot on the YouTube channel is because it's beta, but it's fairly close to what it's going to be like when it's finished. Yeah, I know there's stupid bugs and whatever, but they'll fix that, or they should do. Anyway, let's carry on with the news that we've got on the blog, and then we'll come back to Battlefield because we'll get back to it again. And we'll talk a bit about the positives and all that stuff. We have got a Eurogamer Expo 2011 retrospective by Sinarchi Part 1, and Part 2's, I think, gone out today. So I'll let Mr. Kirioff talk about that.
Well, we actually met up with Synicky whilst he was there, and actually a Unit Lost follower called Mabs was going around with a rather nice camera.
Oh yeah, cheers Mabs for the photos.
He's got some really good shots actually. He's went round, and basically Synicky's just talking about his experiences at the expo. I mean, I was only there for the day. Both me and Raiko were, but I don't know. He's got a different view to us. It's like he's got a wider taste. He still plays things like consoles, and there are a few games that we didn't even think about because they're not out on PC. We'll never really play them. We don't have the kit to play them on anyway. The Git. I tried to say kit and gear at the same time, and it went badly wrong.
Show.
But of course, Synicky, because he will play anything effectively, he managed to get hands on quite a few games, things like Dark Souls, End of Nations, Rage, a couple of others. It's a good read actually. He does tend to do very thorough write-ups, so it's worth having a look at.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read through it. I'll admit that at the moment, but I will do because obviously I missed Eurogamer. And that's quite bad, and I want to read up about it, and that's quite good. So the next thing we've got is the Cursed Crusade on the September 29th is delayed. Now I think this is co-op, and I'm sure I was saying this to you the other day. I was like, I think this is co-op, and if it is, then we'll have to have a blast on that. But it's just two lads on Crusade.
It looks mad, doesn't it? It's like there's none of your usual fantasy stuff either. There's no magic. There's no witches.
It's just like proper, real medieval slashing.
Claymore in hand. Oh,
Claymore in hand. Good lord. St. George's cross on chest. And then on September the 29th, we've got LA. I can never say this. Noir, not Noir.
I think it's Noir.
Noir. It's LA Noir. LA Noir. That's what it is. But I can never say it. It always messes with my brain. Good lord. It's finally coming to PC now. What about Red Dead Redemption? Wasn't that meant to be a good game? Where's that on PC?
I know. I want that. I don't care about this LA Noir crap. Red Dead Redemption was supposed to be solid, and I can't play it, because well, I suppose I technically could, but that would involve parting with a considerable sum of money to play something on a console I don't like.
Good lord. So it's coming to PC. We'll get it when it comes to PC and have a look at it, and that's all I can really tell you about that. I think it's got some kind of facial animation system in, but the graphics don't look very good. So, yeah, it's like whatever. What have we got next?
Yes. The Syndicate announced trailer is awesome. Which it clearly is. I mean, I know when they came out and they said, oh yeah, we're releasing a new Syndicate game, and everyone went, oh, what kind of game is it going to be? And they said first-person shooter. The entire world decided instantly that they hated it. But I'm sorry, this trailer is just made of win. It just is. A lad gets his mind hacked, and then he shoots his mate.
I know, but it looks like Deus Ex. It looks like Deus Ex with the... I know I'm banging on about graphics again, but it Syndicate is not a bloody FPS game, right? Now this could be all right if it's done all right. Like just take it as another game, not as because it obviously ain't a Syndicate game. Might be slightly based in the universe and doing whatever the hell they were doing, but yeah, Mind Hacks is all funny shit. But it's like I remember seeing Deus Ex clips with his elbow blades murdering people and doing all kinds of stuff, and that looked great a year before that came out. And what the hell happened to that? So that's why I'm getting. I think I'm just turning into like a grumpy gamer bloke, and it's like nothing's got any worth until I play it and it has got worth. I just class it as crap and rans it. So go and watch the trailer. On September 29th, GOG.com is giving away Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. Now, I don't know which Broken Sword this is, but I remember playing Broken Sword quite some time ago on my PlayStation. That's how long ago it was. Good lord. And it was pure.
It was. I mean, I don't think, as far as I'm aware, that offer is on. It was due to end something GMT, I think 7
No,
59.
it's ended now.
But it was. You can't really argue with it. All you had to do was go and click on their Facebook link and like it, and you got a free copy. Not bad, really.
Well, if you wanted the game for free and wanted to beef up their Facebook followers, then go for it. And then we have got the Eurogamer Expo retrospective on the 30th of September, part 2. As I did say, I thought that got posted up today. So that's just part 2 of Sinashi's Rival. Go and check that out. Then we've got also on everything's going to be the 30th of September now, isn't it? Because we're not going to go in the future. What the hell? Battlefield 3 Operation Metro Rush gameplay. Now, let me talk to you a bit about Rush. Well, about Metro, Operation Metro itself. The gameplay is not really Battlefield gameplay. You know, it's not a big wide open space. You know, it's very confined. I felt like I was playing Modern Warfare, the first one, because I never played the second one because that was shite. It felt like I was playing the first one mixed with a little bit of Battlefield. You know, like with the squads and whatnot, and it was like, yeah, I still like it, but it's not Battlefield. It's like a good solid shooter, but nothing more really. It's like, yeah, Rush is Rush, and you know that's that game style, but the map is very restrictive, and it's just like, just feel a bit strange, like quite strange indeed.
Question is though, would you if you had a choice between, say, I don't know, going on a dodgy Caspian border server with people you don't know, or having a Rush match on Metro with a bunch of people you did, would you go for Metro?
Well, yeah, you would. I mean, but that's not really a fair comparison. I mean, Metro is not something I would select as a map to play on. You know, like when the game comes out, I won't think to myself, "Oh, right, I'm going to play on Metro." I think to myself, "Oh, I'm going to play on Caspian Border because that's Battlefield." Maybe for some reason, if I wanted like a close combat shooter, like going back to the glory days of Counter-Strike Source and Modern Warfare and all that crap, then yeah, I'd go to Metro because it does give you a better experience than that. Because it does feel more precise, this does, than Bad Company 2, because that kind of felt a little bit, when you were shooting at people, you were kind of like generally aiming in their direction and firing, and it was hitting them. Like this is like you really have to shoot them, you know. So there is more skill involved in that. Good lord. But one of the best changes is the fact that you don't automatically revive when you get defib now. You hit the defib, hits you, and it comes up, would you like to accept revive or respawn? So you don't have to just keep coming back and getting shot like what happened in Bad Company 2. That was a right pain up the ass. So let's talk a little bit now about Caspian Border. Now, I got onto a Caspian Border server. This is like a massive load of bullshit from EA and DICE. They're all padlocked. They're all password protected. They might be unlocked now, but they were password protected, yeah. Why? I don't know. They said they were doing some kind of clan testing on them, yeah? But then all of a sudden, passwords started turning up on the internet. Oh, leaked password. And they all had stupid names, stupid passwords like rum and coke and riding trolleys is fun, sexy elevator and shit like that. Or elevator. And so I got on, right? It took me about 20 minutes to get onto one of the servers because I think there was only 10 or 15 servers that were online at the time running Caspian Border, and obviously everybody's trying to get on Caspian Border because that is what Battlefield's supposed to be. Jets, tanks, helicopters, you know, big open battlefields and all that stuff. Anyway, I finally get on. There were a couple of lag issues, which were probably down to the drivers and the fact ATI haven't really optimised any drivers yet for it. Whereas Nvidia have, and they've stated the performance increase you get, whereas ATI haven't. It's a little bit like, what the hell's going on here, ATI? But yeah, that was Battlefield. Like I said, the only downside to me was the lack of destruction. Like everything else was like just Bad Company 2, but better. And you had jets. It was like, good lord. Apart from the destruction, there were a couple little niggly things. I shot a guy at one point in the face with a 50 cal mounted on the back of. It wasn't an armoured jeep. It was like an armoured car. I mean, I railed him right in the face, and he killed me. And I was like, "Hey, I've just shot you with a 50 cal, my boy. You should be dead." So I don't know what that was about. But, it's beta, so stuff like that, you just kind of let go. You don't care. But yeah, that was just Battlefield. That's what you expected Battlefield 3 to be. But there wasn't enough destruction. It's like, give me more destruction.
90% pure, would you say?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would. In its current state. I mean, it's definitely something I'd play. It definitely would be the major shooter I would be playing, going through next year. The jets themselves, they're not too bad, the jets. I mean, they can't obviously be super jet speed because you just fly off the map. It'd be like, oh, goodbye. So they are slow, and they feel like an arcadey type of jet, like a... Yeah, well, just like an arcadey jet. Like, it'd be quite good with a joystick, I think. But don't expect any kind of realistic jet combat, because it's just flying around, railing other jets. You seem to be fairly impervious to attack from the ground. Sort of, but if you do go, well, at one point I jumped on this massive anti-aircraft minigun at the back of the American base. It was on the back of a lorry, and it absolutely just smashed the jet to pieces with it. And it was like I was getting all this vehicle disabled, which must be quite bad if your jet is disabled. Does that mean your engines have failed? Oh no! So they were sort of easy to shoot down when they were flying low, but I mean they were really high in the sky, having dogfights, which I think is what it's kind of about. So definitely a good addition. Helicopters were still the same. They were still crazy, like in Bad Company 2. You try and fly the helicopter and you just end up getting slashed. And in fact, I think that the thumbnail I'm looking at now on the YouTube channel is of me in the helicopter.
Yes. I think, didn't you have to evacuate in midair?
I think I did. But that's usually the case whenever I get into any kind of aerial vehicle in Battlefield. I don't last very long and I'm jumping out of it like a frigging loser. Then we've got the Battlefield 3 weapon customization. Now I made a little clip up just to show you about the deeper forms of customization you get. Now in Bad Company 2, I think you got you could put a scope on your weapon, you could pick your ammo, you had your gadget, and I think the ammo was gadget 2, and then you had a weapon perk, not a weapon, a vehicle perk you could have, which was extra armor, a Hellfire missile, whatever. But in this, you actually get 3 individual slots for the weapon itself, and you can equip optics to the weapon. So you pick your type of scope. Do you want a laser sight? Do you want the iron sights? Do you want ×4 zoom, ×8 zoom, whatever? You obviously unlock more as you go on. Then you had a grip. You start off with an underslung rail, which is to attach a grenade launcher, but I didn't have any grenade launchers or shotgun launchers because obviously I haven't unlocked them. But then eventually I unlocked a foregrip, which replaced that, but gave your weapon more accuracy. Well, less recoil, so it did give you more accuracy. And then you had another option where you could change the barrel. Now, I'd only unlocked the heavy barrel, and I'm guessing this was just barrels. I mean, there might be different things like flashlight attachments and whatever. I'll obviously go in the other slots or maybe in the heavy barrel slot, I don't know. But that gave you more single shot accuracy, but loads more recoil. Now, recoil is a big thing in Battlefield 3. It's like you fire the gun, and the recoil is you can't just keep spraying at someone. You will just absolutely miss. So it's I do like that because there was a lot of spraying going on in Bad Company 2, especially with the medics and even with the assault classes. You just held down left mouse button and fired at people. And I never really liked that because it kind of took the bit of skill out for me. I like to be a bit more, precise, because from playing Counter-Strike for God knows how long, that's how I like to play. So that was a nice, welcome little addition. But as I say, the weapon customization. There's a video. It's only 3 minutes long. Shows you the weapon customization, and that's pretty much it. Shows you the weapon customization. Good lord. Now I'll let you talk about the knife montage.
Well, I knew this was going to be good because there's a Crocodile Dundee reference, which is
you call that a knife?
that to me is the height of comedic sophistication, to be honest. And it's pretty much, I think, is it 3-4 minutes long? One of the two.
It's almost 3 minutes long. Yeah, 2 minute 40 of just slashing,
just pure unadulterated knife action.
Well, I mean, some bits are dead funny though, because I'm sure the way the knife works is if you run in and hold F down, which is the default knife key, you'll perform the execute on him, which is where you grab him, stick the knife in, and get the dog tags. But if you just spam it, you just slash wildly. And I was spamming it sometimes because I was like, oh, got a knife, and I'm just going, yeah. And at one point, I did kill a guy by wildly slashing, and it's a wonder half of them never shot me dead. because I was like running up to them, flailing around with a knife, and they were like looking at me like, "Hello, sir. What do you want, sir?" And then I slashed them. It's like, "Hey." It's totally crazy, but it's just a pure comedy clip. It's nothing, it's not going to teach you anything, but it's got Crocodile Dundee, and it's got Weapon of Choice, and it's got Win.
That's
Just
all
check
you
it
need.
out. That's all you need, son. All you need is Win. All you need is Win. Then I did a little video showing you the end of round stats, 1:25 long. And if you want to look at the stats in detail on this, I suggest you pause the video so you can check it out, because it only gives you like 40 seconds to go over it, and then it just throws you into the next game, and you've got no choice. You just get thrown into the game. It's like, oh, okay, there you go. So give that a check. Glance your inquisitive eye over the thing if that's what you're looking for. But the stats system itself with Battlefield is very detailed anyway. In fact, I think that's probably one of the best things. The battle log. They've actually updated the battle log a bit as well, like, because when you log into battle log, it shows you your soldier stats, all your servers you've joined, battle reports for servers, games that you've played, so you can see who you've killed and whatever. Shows you all your medals and whatever. I mean, it's a really good system. A couple of little issues I've got are you don't seem to be able to view battle log unless you've got an Origin account with Battlefield on it, which seems a bit dodgy, because if you say to somebody, "Oh, here's my account," and you want to show it off, it just says, you can't view this. Please sign into Origin. And it's like, I hope they change that, because that's shit. I want to show people my stats. I don't want to just show people who've got the game, because you might get people into the game. You might say, "Oh yeah, look at this. I got an achievement, a medal for knifing 10 guys on the trot. Here you go, Dave. Check this out." And he's like, "Well, I ain't got the game, so he ain't gonna care, is he?" Whereas if he looked at it, he might be like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get this." So it seems a bit strange. The server thing was terrible, but they fixed it. What happened was, because it's in your browser, yeah. You click on, you do your search parameters, right? You click search. It brings a list up of like hundreds of servers instantly. I was like, shit, this is pure. This is dead good. Like, this is absolutely pure. So I'm scrolling down the list trying to join the servers, because they're obviously dead popular. Because there's not enough beta servers to, well, basically hold everyone trying to play beta. I click on a server. I instinctively double click to join. Well, you can't do that because it's a web browser. It's a web interface. It's just like a hyperlink, single click. So I click it. It's like, oh no, I've got to now scroll all the way back up to the top and click the big yellow join game button. At which point it says, "I'm sorry, the game's full." And I'm like, no. So it was a massive ball ache, and I was getting RSI from spamming it. I was like, no, come on, you got to let me in. it wouldn't let me in. So, well, anyway, I think they made this change yesterday. They've like anchored it so it scrolls with the page now, the join button, which is like, duh, why didn't it do that to begin with? No, it's like, bloody hell. Another thing is, me and Rico we had a game last night, and the way the party thing works is pretty good, but it doesn't put you on the same team. It just put us on opposite teams, which is a bit dumb. Surely if you were joining as a party, you'd want to be together on the same team, and in fact in the same squad. It's like, no, you're on the other team and I'm on this team. It's like, okay. Eventually we got together on the same team. Came across another issue. You can't actually select your squad. You can just join a squad, leave a squad, and find a squad. It's like, surely they've got to add in squad controls, because that'll just be terrible. And I do believe they will, because that's like, clans want to play together. The unit lost platoon will want to play together. You don't want to be on different teams, do you? And it's crazy. It's like, but all the other stuff with the battle log is like very good. I mean, it's a good stats system, and they just need to make it viewable for everybody, and maybe do some other little niggly little changes or something. I don't know, but from what I've seen of it so far, it does look pretty good. And you might have heard that sound actually that just went off. You may not have, I don't know, but it was one of my friends stopped playing the Battlefield 3 beta. Apparently I had Origin logged in. Another goddamn thing that's constantly logged in. Steam, Origin, oh my god, it's getting crazy. So, I mean, there'll be more Battlefield stuff. And what we'll do, probably over the weekend, is we'll get a clip of everybody who's got Battlefield 3 running, and they're online in Origin at the time, and we'll try and get a big clip done, just of like a crazy clip. Probably be on Metro, because Caspian Border will probably be locked up with a stupid password on that. I'll probably take all of a second to find, so maybe it will be Caspian Border, but it's hard to get on Caspian Border, and it's hard to get people on the server. I mean, even with just 2 people in a party, like I found out last night, it was practically impossible to get on the servers. That should change come launch, because there'll be loads of servers, and we are trying to get an actual unit lost Battlefield 3 64-man server, and if we can get hold of that, that'll be great news for us. But anyway, enough Battlefield 3 talk, because there'll be loads of Battlefield 3 stuff. Because it's Battlefield 3, good lord.
Beyond pure.
Beyond pure. So where do we go? So where do we finally end up?
Well, we end up with something a bit less pure, but still entertaining, which was the Vindictus EU beta, which it's an MMO sort of, but very, very hacky and slashy, and well, we had a blast on it. The video's up on the channel, and you can clearly see there's quite a bit of old hacking and slashing and sword-based butchery going on. The only downside is that the beta, I don't know, it seems a bit, not buggy, but the interface is horribly unintuitive. You don't know what you're doing with it. And there are some issues with doing things as a party. A lot of it's instanced, and you sort of get told, oh, I'd like to do this as a party. Like me and Stylos, we were in a group, we wanted to do a particular quest as a party, and we got told the party was too big.
Which is terrible.
It's not great, but to be
what
honest,
gets me with it is though, ain't this launched in Asia? I'm sure it is. I kept banging on about it on the video, and it's like, why have they got a beta then for Europe? Huh?
Maybe they're just trying to iron out all the translation issues.
Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, the voice work was terrible. Maybe they've slightly changed the graphics or something. I don't know, because the thumbnail is quite funny for the YouTube clip. It's got like the what you call it, like the checkered pattern where the texture's missing over the trees, and at one point they were gone. The tree texture was just textured nothing, just the placeholder texture. But then it came back, and it's like, well, what the hell is that? But I mean, the game itself, I'll admit it, I was pleasantly surprised, because I thought it was going to be totally shit. I thought, this is just going to be shit. It's like, this just looks like some stupid Asian MMO I want nothing to do with, but I'm going to go in and just erase that from my mind and just have a laugh at it and see what it's about. And the combat, to be fair, was quite good. But it's not an MMO, is it? It's just the only MMO parts of it were the fact you had a town where you could see people in.
And even then, the town was instanced because you were in a different town to me, although we were in the same town. So it's like, it's not really an MMO, but it's a free hack and slash game goes. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, if you want a free third-person hack and slashy game where you're like basically a Asian-style woman, you know, but what I'm trying to say here, like a anime-inspired crazy woman that you find in any typical Japanese-style game, then go for it. Because you can only play women at the moment. So the whole world's populated with women.
Oh, no. My character's a man. It just looked like a woman.
Oh.
That's the problem. None of the males have facial hair because they don't... I don't know why they don't have facial hair, but they don't. They just look like girls, but in men's clothes. But it's like... it's all right. I was quite surprised. It's an all right little game. You don't have to pay for it.
So there you go. Yeah. I mean, download links in the video. Go and check it out, people. So this brings us to the end of gaming news. Yeah.